Is it recording?
Yeah, it's all recording.
Oh, hey man, thanks for having me.
So I wanted to sit down and just have a proper chat because we went out for lunch the other day.
Yeah.
Ended up getting into a really deep chat about careers, YouTube, everything as a whole that we do. And I wanted to just have a chat, talk about that. Yeah, broaden it whilst talking about it on camera with everyone watching. I mean, number one, thanks for having us in your office today. Mark's got a new office. Beautiful space.
Big moves.
Yeah, how's this gone? How are you finding the office so far?
I mean, I'm a week in. Probably a bit later from the time this comes out. I don't know when you can upload it. But no, to be honest, it was a bit of a weird one because for the businesses that I've been involved in around what I do, like the main thing, YouTube, whatever you want to call it, producing stuff, I've always had offices for those businesses, but for my sort of core thing, I've never made that commitment to an office. And it's always been, I've wanted an office for ages, but I've always been like, what if it goes wrong, or what if I can't afford it, or something like this. That's always been the main worry, but it doesn't make any sense because it's the core thing. So since I've moved here, I bloody love it. It's amazing. Productivity.
Ooh. What do you do here?
Just make shit, man. Make good shit.
But what? Obviously, you're talking about other businesses have offices. For example, Saucebox.
Yeah. So Saucebox has an office. Strip Bear.
Saucebox, for anyone who doesn't know, is a subscription food service company. Snackbox. Strip Bear, music company.
Yeah, music management company. And like when you think of overheads that have gone into those companies, I haven't made a single penny out of either of those companies. Saucebox is a prime example of like every money that could have been taken from that company, we just put it straight back in to grow it. You know, getting an office, getting 3 full-time members of staff. Like neither of the partners, founders, stakeholders took any money because it was all about
growing it. Longevity. So for someone watching who's like, great business plan, you made no money. Explain how that works for somebody.
Wow. I was in a different situation because I was in a lucky position that I didn't have to make money from it. So if we're talking Saucebox specifically, I never had to make money because I have other things going on.
Yeah. Short-term money.
Yeah. But you know, as with any business, for it to really grow, you need to reinvest. Other than our YouTube stuff, we're very lucky how that kind of exploded and took off, where we can, if you want to have when we first started, have very low overheads. Whereas, you know, you're running up, you're creating a brand, you're creating a product. To really push that, you have to spend money on it. Yeah. You have to invest money on
office, product,
marketing. It's you know, you take for granted what we had in our support of not only our following, but you know, when you did stuff on it, like you don't understand the value of that until you see it on a product. And it's just...
I've never thought about that. You've seen, I mean, obviously there's things similar where I've seen as well, but you've seen directly the effect of an influencer promoting a product.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's cool.
When you think of it as essentially a startup, and what we turned over in year one for a startup is like, crazy. And our biggest regret is... to this date was to never, we're too naive, you know. I said to you the other day, we should have looked for investment at that stage. You know, year one, you're like, boom,
super excited,
we're a new business,
doing really well,
crazy. And while yes, we did make a load of revenue that we reinvested, we should have gone, right, this is our opportunity to say, look, this is year one, let's go out, let's bring further investment to take to the next level. But we didn't.
Strip Bear, how's that going?
Strip Bear is something
music management.
Strip Bear is like the biggest financial investment as this date. I'm in a lot of like debt in terms of the money that me and Dom have invested into it.
For sure.
But it's probably the thing that I'm most excited about outside of like what I'm directly linked with. Or not
what you're managing day to day. What you're on top of.
Because you know, you know what she's like. Maisie is just fucking talented, man. She's gonna, honestly, she is
was listening to her in the car yesterday.
Oh, that's nice. But yeah, she is a little superstar. She's going to go on to big things, and yeah, we'll see what happens with Strip Bare Man. But that's something that I had a chat with someone the other day, and they're like, yo, where do you want to be in 5 years? That classic question that we always get asked.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, to be honest, I'd love to be sort of in this side of stuff that I do, the podcast, the writing, have something go on with that, and then be more involved in Strip Bare. I'd love to be more involved in the day-to-day, but right now, I'm just not.
Is that because the business isn't ready for you to...
I think
you just don't have the time.
First thing is time. It'd be it's the time. But further down the line, it's definitely saying I'd want to be able to go, you know what, I can stop doing as much of this and move over and do a bit more of that. But
I think you saying that is what I wanted to chat about today. The overarching, so many people that see what you've done, making tons of videos, deep frying.
Oi, those classics.
Deep frying Dominoes.
Yeah.
Those kind of videos every single day.
Yeah. As
your work.
Yeah.
And now seeing you not upload. And the similar thing for me, uploading mass, not uploading as much now. Mm-hmm. And now they're like, what are you doing? Chilling.
Yeah.
And now you're saying you're so busy now that you can't even work on one of your companies.
Yeah.
Day to day.
Yeah.
How's that happened? What do you do? What do you do on an average day to make yourself, from going to making tons of videos and publicly being very busy, to now putting out less content but being even busier?
Do you know what the funny thing is? When you talk about the videos, I've said it before on my stuff, like the daily grind of daily videos. That style of video, fuck man, we were like a factory. Bro, some days we're making 14 videos a day. Like I made a month's worth of videos in 2 days. Like what headspace must I have been in to think that was okay?
The mindset at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny to think that was the scenario that we were in, because that then allowed me, in my head, I was like, oh, if I do a month's worth of videos in 2 days, I've then got the rest of that time to do all the other stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
So my issue, which I'd probably hold my hands up to, was I think I went for a phase of stretching myself too much across things, because I was able to jump onto things and set new things up that I have a passion or interest in. But what you forget is a business is all well and good having the idea, but actually how a business runs, you need the time, you need the people, you need the passion. There's so many factors that go into it.
Driver, like this is what we spoke about the other day. Like to make a business successful, you need somebody sat in the driver's seat who's passionate about that thing. And that can't be you over 6 things.
No, but that's why I've always said that people are the most important thing to any successful business, because you can't be on top of everything. You need to be able to delegate to people that are equally passionate about whatever the ultimate goal is you're trying to work towards. And if you can find those people and bring them in, then great, you're on something cool. But yeah, I mean, going back to what you're saying, an average day depends where I am. Like if I'm in London now,
so you travel a lot.
Yeah, I travel a lot. And we kind of have it as a good way we work, because when I go to Berlin, for example, I kind of split my time between London and Berlin in terms of living.
Yeah. Berlin's where Marcus's girlfriend lives.
Yeah, my girlfriend lives there. Thanks for that one, Steffi. Thanks for being German. Love that. We use that as an opportunity to usually write, because when we're here, we want to do things that require like filming, podcasting.
What you're writing? Videos?
Sometimes videos, but we're writing long form stuff. So TV shows, we've written a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a few projects on the go in that world, because that's something that both of us want to do as a bigger goal, bigger picture project.
You and Steffi?
No, sorry, me and Matt.
Okay.
So when I'm in Berlin, Matt's the guy who I work with in all of this stuff. He does the podcast as well.
Yeah. So does he come out with you, or is he staying here?
He stays here.
Yeah.
So, but that allows us to be, when I'm there in Berlin, he's here. We just hop on Skype, open up whatever we're doing, whether we start developing on Google Drive, or open Final Draft and just share screen and type. Like, right, just type. Because that's like a longer term goal for both of us. We want stuff to be made.
Yeah. And what what made that change, that mindset? Because obviously you said just now, the mindset, fuck man, that I was in back then when I was making 14 videos a week. What was there a point where you turned around and you went, whoa, what the bloody hell am I making?
Yeah.
Was it just a gradual change of just like, I'm not really feeling this content so much anymore, I'm gradually going to change it? What changed from, I don't know, for the public eye, deep frying food to...
I love that the deep frying is like...
Or like just, okay, those kind of videos, do you know what I mean? As in mass
I
producing quick content
Yeah.
to walk in for D&G.
Yeah, so it's a really funny one because at the peak of that content, which was always my second channel, which we turned into that, it became like it was smashing it in terms of, for me, it was doing between 10 and 15 million views a month. Like we were doing brand deals on there. It was getting, actually I had terrible AdSense in terms of a CPM on that channel. But in terms of YouTube world, I was like, this is doing well. The channel's growing, subscribers, all that stuff. But I was still doing all these things around it. So I started to do like more fashion stuff on Instagram. I set the businesses up. I was running the businesses. And it was a trip I went to on LA, which forced me to have a break from the channel for like a week because I was doing a bunch of traveling.
I watched that video the other day of you sitting down in the hotel room saying why you haven't uploaded in a couple of days.
Yeah, that was it. It was that trip I was on in LA. And every time I met someone new, which you do in these things, and they're like, what do you do? And I always try to describe what I do. That one thing stood out like a sore thumb. You know, it's
to
like,
you or to them?
No,
man,
to
that
me.
Sounds amazing.
No, because people, I wouldn't go into detail about it. They'd just be like, what do you do? Oh, I do daily videos. And if some people started asking questions, oh, what kind of stuff? And then I started describing it. I was like, this sounds shit.
Yeah.
Like actually shit.
Yeah.
And it was a real point where I just had this mass thing. Said to Matt, I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to pause from filming videos for a bit and think. And I just took a couple of weeks to think, what am I gaining from this? Like, yes, it's bringing me money. Other than that, what am I really gaining? Am I having fun?
Do you not enjoy making them?
Am I having fun? Not really. Like the deep frying videos I laugh about, fucking hell, I hated them.
Yeah, because you don't eat unhealthy food.
No, but not for that reason. It was for the whole like, what am I doing? Yeah. Like there was literally...
At the time of filming or looking back?
Bit of both, but at the time of filming, I think I had a bigger picture of it at the back of my head. Oh, it's fine because I'm making money out of this, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate I was able to take that step back, but it was so dramatic because I went from posting all those videos to all of a sudden, actually, what do I want to be doing in 3 years' time? Like in 3 years' time, do I want to still be doing this content I'm doing now and smashing it and making loads of money? But I'm going to get to 30 and be like, wait a minute, what am I doing? And I thought of myself imagine I met a group of people my age, meet a bunch of 26-year-olds, at the time 25 or 24, can't remember how old I was. And they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh yeah, I do this video thing. And they're like, oh cool.
Sick, let's pull it up. Can we watch it now? 6
lads sat around a table and we then watch me deep frying something and shoving it in my mouth. They'd be like, oh, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But
that's cool if you're not making content for the people that age. If you were aiming to make the content for 9-year-olds, which I don't know if you were, then that's cool.
Yeah, it was never like, we never had this who were we making content for thing with that. It just happened that we fell into that content, and I think we had like structures and things on. We know what will do well. So we had almost mini series within that, and we knew what would always do well. We created so many like YouTuber people. The most popular thing was a YouTuber series. As you know, you do anything with a YouTuber, it's always like, oh my God, amazing. Yeah. But I was just like, doesn't matter if I'm going to make loads of money with this. It's just not what I'm happy in doing. So I dramatically stopped that. And
did you ever make I'm stopping making these videos video?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
How did that go down?
To be honest, it was quite well received because I gave a good explanation. I said that what I've just said to you, it got in the way of the things that I actually wanted to do. All the writing, all the other things that we wanted to do we didn't have the time to, and that was being the main focus because that was earning the most money. And you look at any business and you probably go, well, you should have stuck with doing that if it's making you the most money. But when it's your business is a brand, like you are your brand, there's a difference because it's not a product that's doing that, it's me, and I am that person who's creating that. So I just didn't want to get to whatever age it was and be making what I now look at and think a little bit cringy content.
Yeah.
And it was hard because financially, it's hit financially for sure, but I'm so much happier now in where I'm at, what I'm doing, in the sense that I'm really passionate now about what I'm doing, and I'm lucky that I was able to do that step back. But it's hard, man. It's hard to change.
Do you think it takes that step back? Like, do you leave now? Do you purposely leave space every week? I don't know, every month, however long. Maybe you meditate. I don't know what you do. Do you leave space for reflection now in case you get into that loop again of, oh shit, I'm in the bubble and I didn't know I was back in that bubble of a different realm, not in the deep frying food realm, but in the fashion realm of, whoa, and maybe I don't want to be doing fat. Like, are you now conscious and you leave yourself that room to 100%. Evaluate?
I would say I'm much more self-aware now, in the sense that I look at a lot of what other people do and post online, and I kind of bring that into myself and learn from all the things I've done in the past and just think, am I happy with what I'm doing? Am I happy with what I'm posting?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm always going to be learning. I'm sure what I'm going to be doing in 3 years is probably going to be different to what I'm doing now. But as of right now, I just feel happy and I feel content with what I'm putting out there. Thank you.
No, honestly, man, I agree. Like, over the last couple of months, as you know, I've stopped daily vlogging, everything like that. I'm finding what I'm enjoying more and doing that and taking a slight step back from making as much content. Did you ever find that you purposely made, I don't know how to word this. Did you ever do things, did you ever change for the sake of changing to make people aware that you are no longer that Marcus?
Oh no. What, as in,
for example,
sure, did I force a change?
I don't know, cutting your hair off, getting tattoos to be like, I'm 26.
Making a statement.
I'm fucking 26 years old.
No. So, consciously, no. What is consciousness? Consciously, no.
Yeah.
But subconsciously, potentially.
Maybe,
because if you look at how much I changed physically over that period of time as well, I've changed a lot.
Yeah.
But I've, good or bad with my personality, I'm very much, I get an idea in my head. I'm just like, I'm going to do this and try and do it as quick as I can. So I don't usually think that much. I do think about things, but I just think maybe a little bit faster than I should, and sometimes do things that I should think a little bit more about. But I didn't ever think like, oh, I'm gonna, look, guys, I've got tattoos. Like,
no, different. Of course. But I'm just saying, added into the whole reflection of stepping back and being like, whoa, okay, this is not me. How have I let me become this when this isn't me?
I think it.
I'm changing everything.
I think it allowed me, taking the step back, to find myself and find what I want to do. And I'd also thank like Steffi for that. She really helped me find and discover who I really am.
Yeah.
What's my purpose?
No, but being serious though, like you get fucking caught up in like, we're in such a...
I just kicked it. I don't know if that's fine.
We're in such a fast moving, non-stop social media world that it is too easy to just jump from thing to thing to thing, and then people just don't take time to step back and have a big evaluate.
But I think the wider issue with that is it's very easy in this industry to find what works and stay with that. So I would argue a lot of people I know in the YouTube space aren't happy with the content they're making. But I feel like a lot of people feel stuck because they're maybe too scared, or they don't know how to change their content and evolve it to the things that they want to do. I think that's going to be a huge thing that we're going to see over the next few years with a lot of people that have posted stuff online.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's really hard. But
I was going to say, harder than financial, I think, is, like I said to you, when I stopped every single day filming, what do I make?
Yeah,
like, I've been doing this for 4 years. I'm like, I don't want to go back to my Points Blog main channel videos because I don't do that anymore. And that's why I stopped that channel. And I feel like a lot of people waited too long and kept doing that channel and then have stopped recently. And I was like, that's why I stopped mine. Now you can see with the daily vlogs, I stopped that and I'm like, whoa, what do I want to make? I don't know, because all I've done is make this.
So from personal experience, I would say use that as a time to experiment and be open with experimenting with your audience, because you're right. You've realized, hey, this isn't what I want to do forever. But you're also like, I don't maybe know what I want to do forever. But you're only going to know from trying. So if you kind of go on that journey yourself, but bring your audience along, I think they'll understand it, because, dude, it's human nature. We change, we evolve constantly throughout life. And I think what's crazy to think about is we started YouTube 17, 15 or whatever. Think how much a 15-year-old changes between 15 and 25. And you have to go through that once you've built an audience on perhaps something. Daily vlogging is different, but for me, built part of an audience on something that I'm now not passionate about. Making that change is hard. And a lot of people are like, nah, I'm not into it. I always use an analogy. It's going to sound really shit now. Like, imagine you are a huge fan of...
Well, you use this analogy a lot.
You're a huge fan of EastEnders, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I love EastEnders, watch it every day.
Yeah.
Then next day they're just like, you know what? We don't like soaps anymore. We're going to become Doctor Who.
Yeah,
You'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, some people would go, I'll have a watch of that. Oh, I like that. But a lot of people would just be like, nah, not for me. I'll just stick with Coronation Street.
Yeah.
So,
no, interesting. I think too many people are scared to find what they enjoy making because they know that it works.
Well, it's also a risk.
Stick with that. Yeah,
it's a risk, because I could have risked stopping that, and yeah, cool, I could start making stuff. But what if people are just like, nah? Like, of course, it impacted my whole structure of what I do, changed in terms of how I earn money and views and all this stuff, but a huge part of that was letting go of that, like removing yourself from the, like, I call it the YouTube game, because YouTube is a game, right?
Yo, this is a whole nother topic.
YouTube is a game. There are specific rules. If you you can play the game as much as you want.
Yeah.
And you're only going to stay at the top if you...
You see, I reckon like 2 years ago, I would have said, nah, not a game. When I was in that bubble.
Yeah.
Now I step back. Shit, man. Like,
the glasses have been removed.
Yeah, I'm serious.
You can see straight.
Like, you don't even realise what's... Yeah, I don't know. It is like I've just had my laser eye surgery. Yeah.
That was just in case anyone couldn't figure out.
And not in a bad way. Not in a bad way at all.
Look, some people, for me, it was like a money versus
integrity.
Yeah, integrity, happiness, and there's got to be, for me, a balance. Literally, before we were talking about someone earlier, and I was like, sure, they're smashing it financially, absolutely smashing it, but what does that mean? Like, well, cool, they can buy a nice car, they can help their family with money, great, but like, are they genuinely aware?
Do you reckon you found your thing? Your thing that makes you happy?
I don't know. Like, career-wise or personal life?
Just in life.
Yeah, for sure. Well, my girlfriend, obviously. Like, is that...
That's the deepest shit I've ever heard.
Spraying that wet fire hose everywhere.
As in, like, the thing that, like, when you wake up in the morning, you're like, this is what I'm working towards. Like, some people's thing is... I know a lot of people that have, like, got incredible amounts of money, and they're like, I'm going to do everything I can to just raise money for this particular cause that's close to my heart, and that's all I'm going to do. Or someone like Gary V that I chat to, his is just about gratitude. Yeah. And getting people to be aware and helping people find their thing, I suppose. What do you think?
Here's the thing. There's many answers to that, because that's kind of what's my purpose in life, right? What am I doing here? What's my aim? Am I in a computer simulation, or am I here to
don't even start on that.
Cure cancer? Like, if we're going like that.
Yeah, but okay. If I asked you this 3 years ago, you probably would have said, just make a load of fun videos and make a ton of money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the reason which I like to think I had then of what am I doing with all that money is I was investing it in things around it that I'm genuinely passionate about.
Yeah.
So whilst I was like, yeah, you could look at the content and be like, what the fuck's that?
But you did enjoy the content at the same time.
What do you mean?
As in, we don't want to... You did enjoy making those videos.
Yeah,
at
and
the time.
even now, like some of those daily videos, I think like I'd still watch now, and I think some of them I was like, I genuinely thought was really funny.
Yeah.
But there was a lot. Of course, it became a job. Yeah. I thought I had something else to say then. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Like right now, I'm super motivated by having an office. Like I'm literally... I've had it a week.
Game changer.
And I'm waking up. I was texting Matt non-stop over the weekend. Like I was just sat there like,
do you want to go to the office today?
I just want to work. I just want to do stuff. I don't know why, but maybe that'll wear off, because after a month.
No, I don't think it will. I think it's going to be new for a long time, and it's just super exciting. And not only that, but you're also going to go home and be excited to be home, because work is no longer at home.
That's such a huge thing.
So that's massive.
Yeah.
Just as big as coming here. Like now, when you go home tonight, this shit isn't there.
Yeah.
You're at home.
Yeah, you're right. That is a massive, already feeling the benefits of removing work from home.
Yeah.
Because when you're so used to it, like we'd be doing, even so when we're doing the daily videos, for example, they're all in my house. We finished a day of doing 3 deep frying videos. I don't know, eating food. My house is a shit. Like it's in a mess. Matt's left to go home. Never helped clearing up.
He's got headphones on.
He's got headphones in.
He's pretending he hasn't got headphones. He's got nothing in them. He's just like, oh shit, I've been caught.
But like, he'd leave, and his headspace is now, I did some weird shit at work today, but like, and mine was always, oh, my kitchen's a shithole. Oh, what have I, like, I could never fully remove that and like not switch off. But
the boundaries, no, for sure.
But
one thing we spoke about the other day that I'd love to bring up is...
Ooh.
What do you mean?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Property investment. Mm-hmm. Do you want to chat about that?
Sure,
have you spoken about that publicly?
Do you know what's funny? Louise, I don't know when this is coming out, so I filmed a video of Louise the other day on her channel about sort of how we have diversified around YouTube.
As in your income?
Yeah,
so how
like
it comes from different things?
Yeah, like just to kind of be a bit like...
So you're telling me your views from your videos isn't your only income?
But that a lot of people don't know that.
People genuinely think that. Like now I've stopped vlogging, people are like...
What you doing?
You've stopped working. Like you don't go to work now. People don't understand. One thing that you've done that I'm very aware of, that people might not be listening and watching, is invest in property. How's that happen? How did you get into that? How's it going?
Yeah, pretty good, to be honest. So since I was, for anyone that's heard this story, I'm sorry like if I've ever bored you with it before, but I have a family friend who I met when I was like 12, and I met him in the south of France at his villa, and I was wowed, as you are as a 12-year-old kid, by someone's nice villa. House. Yeah, there's families there. I was like, fuck, sick. It's like, what do you do? And he's like, oh.
Did he have a butler?
No. He's like, I do property. And I was like, wow, like tell me more. And I remember we had lunch and I was just asking him questions, and I left that day thinking, wow, this guy's got it sorted. Like, however I earn money, if I earn money, because as I was growing up, I always wanted, as everyone does, to earn money. You know, whatever, at the naive age of 16, I was like, I'll just do whatever job like pays the most, doesn't matter, mate. Like, I'm just going to do that. Go work in London in the city. I genuinely wanted to be a little city boy.
You were for a bit. You were Mr. Traveller.
Yeah, I was.
When we first met, you used to travel around
the country,
driving all the time around the country.
I was a salesman.
Yeah, what did you sell before?
Software within the property industry, which sounds weird.
It actually was. Yeah.
We did inventories and checkouts in an app.
I mean, that's kind of cool. And now you're literally on the other side of that business.
Yeah.
Would you buy that software today?
It wasn't for me. It's for estate agents and letting agents. So it doesn't target me. But so I met this guy, and I was like, wow, he's inspiring. And if ever I earn money, I want to sort of try and set up, rather than think, I'll put this in an ISA, or I'll do something different with
Lock it away for a couple of years and get
like a percent on it and stuff like that. I was always, I'm gonna do property. And I won YouTube Next Up, which we were hanging out then. That was crazy that time. And
how much did you win?
20,000 euros. And they wanted us
back in like 2014, 15.
Yeah, I was
20,000 euros.
Yeah, I was 19 at the time, and I was like, this is amazing.
I tried to enter, and I was under 18.
You were too young. You were too young, dude. I entered the American one and made the semi-finals.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, and then they were like, we really like your video, but
you've already won 20 grand.
No, this was before it, because they did the American one first, and I entered it and I made the semi-finals, and then they're like, sorry, you're English. This is just American, but we are coming to Europe, so why don't you enter? I was like, cool. Anyway, so 20,000 euros, and they wanted me to, well, not me, the part of that was, here's 20,000 euros to make better content, invest in camera equipment, because back then you didn't have anything. So I bought loads of airsoft guns.
I remember. For
my gun phase on YouTube. And then I put the rest into buying my first flat. So
great content.
Yeah. So,
but how does one thing that, because I've invested in property, as quite a bit. Mm-hmm. One thing that I've spoken to, and I get a lot of friends asking me now for like tips and advice on that, is like, how do you buy your first flat? Because in school they don't teach you.
No.
Or when I was in school and college, they don't teach you anything.
Yeah.
Like, I've got friends of mine that up until they were 20 thought that when you buy a property, you have to buy it outright.
Yo.
They didn't know there was such thing as a mortgage. But then even a mortgage...
Why is the property price so high in London for your first property?
Well, yeah, they're like, how the hell is anyone ever going to ever afford a £200,000 flat? Because who's got £200,000? How could I ever get that?
Yeah.
Not knowing about mortgages. But even with mortgages, it's like, you could get a mortgage on a 5% deposit, a 20%, a 50% deposit. Like, how did you go into buying your first flat?
So the first flat, I got a lot of help. So because the guy who owned the company where I became the software salesman for, mm-hmm. he owned a letting agent as well, where I worked before. So I started working in a letting agent, just letting flats and doing stuff like that. And he...
But even for a second, let's pause for a sec. At 12 years old, you went to this villa in France. Yeah. You see this savage property. You're like, that's what I want. How old were you when you were working as a letting agent?
18/19.
How mad is that 18, 19, you've already got a job in the career field that you wanted.
Yeah.
And then a secondary job in the career field that you wanted.
Yeah, but to be honest, at that time, it was never... When I was working at a letting agent, I wasn't thinking, this is because I want to get a property. It was purely, I'd just come back from traveling. I needed to make some money before going to uni, because I had 6 months left of my gap year. So I was like, right, where can I get a job? One of Simon's mates, my stepdad's friends knew this guy here and blah, blah, blah. So that I was like, I'm just going to start working here. And cut long story short, he had some property up north. So he kind of helped me with, how do you apply for a mortgage? What can I do what's a good mortgage? What's this? What's that? And he kind of helped me.
And are you taking this all in whilst he's telling you, or are you just getting him to do it?
No. I had everything myself. So I was, So my family helped a lot. Like my mum and stepdad have always been amazing with helping me, and I would not be able to do what I do with the properties without them. So they are an amazing help. But so I went out and got the flat at 19.
Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, well. And then that was it. And then after then, I kind of just had a flat.
And you let that out?
Yeah, it was. They already had a tenant in there.
Oh, wow.
So I had a flat, and then, YouTube started going well, started making money, and then I was like, cool, I'm going to buy my own first, like a flat that I'm going to live in. So I bought that, which you came around. It was that 2-bed flat.
Lovely flat.
Nice flat.
Really nice.
And then I was like, I moved to London. I didn't have anything else at this stage. So I was like, well, it'd be cool to keep that flat, but rent it out. So because at the time of buying it, I had a 10% loan, 90% loan to value. So I put 10% deposit down, which is small in property buying.
Yeah.
I had a massive mortgage on that flat.
So each month, your monthly installments were just very big.
Yeah. And when I moved to London, I was quite attached to that flat because I thought it was a lovely flat. I didn't want to sell it. So
have you still got it now?
Still got it now. But whilst there was still such that high loan to value, I ended up, so it rented out, but I was then having to also pay, like, I think not much, but like £150 a month as well to the mortgage. So the rent didn't cover it at the time. So as an investment, it was awful. But I was like, nah, you know what? It's going to come good. It's going to come good.
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple of years, I remortgaged it on a much better loan to value, and that's another investment flat. So yeah, I own those two flats that I spoke about. I own personally. And then when YouTube started going really well, started making, decent money and stuff, I was like, how can I do this property thing properly? How can I get it set up to run as a company? How can I do that? What's the benefits? So I went on a kind of journey of understanding how that would work. If I set up a limited company and ran it through that, how that would be possible to, how it would be possible to run the whole thing that way. So I did that, and then started kind of buying flats through the limited company. And I just bought some blocks. So I bought like, sounds so stupid.
As
just
bought
some blocks.
No, but in Brighton, it's still stupid, isn't it?
Oh no, not like block of 50 flats.
No, not as in that. But I was going to say block is in like 4
a converted
flats.
house. Yeah, so it's a converted house.
But then that's still fucking cool.
Yeah. So I've got like I'm really happy with where that's at now, and it's allowed me. That ties in with the whole change thing, because I gave like a safety net of if tomorrow I wanted to get myself to a position, if tomorrow I stopped earning money from our careers have been so out of our control when you think about it, in terms of where that money came and following came from YouTube. It's all run by things we actually have no control on. So if all of a sudden they were like, copyright strikes for this,
like Vine closed down.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if something like that happened that stopped me earning money from what I want to do, I've got to provide something there as a backup, and that to me was my backup. And yeah, so it's a cool place now. It's like, again, I don't really take any money from it, but I employ like my stepdad for it. My mum works for it. Got one as an Airbnb, which I told you about, which is a cool little experiment. It's cool. But you know what it's like. You also have some flats.
Yeah, man, we've had some times.
Stressful, right?
It is, because when I started going into it, like my mindset was just very naive in thinking that everybody who rents a flat is just going to keep it nice and clean and tidy. And that is not the case. Or even just simple things like, we had one tenant go away for a while, like I told you, tenant go away for a while, and then the flat above leaked on one of my flats and literally like
flooded
it. Yeah, like
knee high,
like bro.
Right.
And they're like, well, it's not my fault. I just went away, and it's not really my fault because it's the flat above. But then just things that you don't really think about.
Yeah.
But then I've got that stress, and then I'm making a daily vlog at the same time. It's that kind of like...
Yeah, especially with the content in some of your vlogs. If you're going from like crazy, I don't know, inflatable something, you're trying to make a video on that, and then you've got some flat that's just leaking at the same time.
Yeah, man. It wasn't the one. Talking about change longer term, you walking down the street in 4 years' time.
30.
You got a little kiddie.
Yeah. Ooh. Nah, not yet.
Not in 4 years?
Nah.
5 years?
I mean, I've always
32?
said you can obviously never plan these things, but
Bro, I feel like you literally met your girlfriend.
yeah,
I think you're secretly engaged, but you just don't wear a ring, and neither does she.
secret marriage, mate.
Secret marriage. There's a kid coming soon. There is a kid coming soon.
I don't think so. For she, like, obviously, it's a huge impact on Steffi. Like what a woman has to go through. I feel like I haven't had a baby yet, so I don't want to step on anyone's toes.
Yeah.
But the whole process comes across a lot easier for a guy.
Well, I mean, we don't have to have the baby in our stomach for 9 months.
I'm not yet. I'm talking like not like much further than the physical demands of it. So when I speak about it with Steffi, she's like, I want to be like 27ish.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
how old is she now?
5 years.
Okay, so say, let's go. 10 years time.
Oof.
You're walking down the street, 2 little kiddies, and Steffi. People are coming up asking for pictures. Are you enjoying that?
Oh, it's a weird one, isn't it? Never thought about that. I don't know if I'd say I'm enjoying it, because like
Can I have a picture of your kid?
I think anyone would be
like this.
I think anyone would be lying if they said they were enjoying that element of it. But the kids thing would be weird. I've got like quite strong opinions on, I haven't even got them, but kids and what you do with them on social media. So I think I would keep my kids out of that. I would be like, nah, sorry, like no, you're not having a picture of the kid. But it's hard to know what I'm doing then.
Yeah.
Of course, if I'm still doing stuff that people are into and, you know, people want photos, of course I'm still gonna take pictures of people.
Yeah.
But in terms of a privacy thing, if my family aren't anything involved, I'd be like, hey, like I'll chat, have a conversation, have a picture, and they can just like play with the dog that's also running along as well. Something like that. What about you?
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like YouTube is so big. The amount of people that watch and have watched what we've all done has been so, like, just ridiculous. I feel like there's going to be forever people that will know and stop us in the street.
Do you think we're like the steps of the...
Yeah, like, I feel like the Truman Show, man. When I was daily vlogging, I felt like the Truman Show. Like, sometimes I'm like, all of you guys aren't real.
Computer simulation,
Like,
mate.
what's going on here?
Someone's programming me to sit here with you.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
what I'm saying, man. Sometimes I don't trust anyone. No, but would I?
It's a weird one.
No, I'd let somebody have a picture, but it will be weird. I don't know what I'll be doing.
It's hot, mate.
I have no idea what I'll bloody
10
be doing.
years is so hot when you think 10 years ago we
hadn't even made a video.
No.
I hadn't even made a YouTube video 10 years ago. Actually, that's a lie. I was making some skateboarding YouTube videos and some gaming videos.
Yeah, on other channels,
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Okay, last question to finish it off.
I'm enjoying
This
it.
is a good one.
I could talk forever.
If you could wake up tomorrow with one new ability, what would it be?
Fuck.
Whatever that, I don't want to explain anymore because I
man.
don't want to put any
All right,
limitations to it.
Yeah.
Just leave it super open.
One new ability tomorrow. Oh wow, I've got so many thoughts in my head, and the one I've got such a deep one,
Yeah, go for it.
and I don't want it to be cliche, but like to be able to the world to function in a way where people don't have to suffer for things that no one deserves. Like, that's such a cliche answer, but like, imagine if the world just was cool, like everything's good, there's no shit in the world. People aren't dying from starvation. People get the things that we take for granted, just like not an issue in the world. I don't know how those things aren't solved in this world, but that's what I'm, something like that. Or, you go with that, or I can fly.
It's up to you, man. It's only you know.
What would
you wake up tomorrow?
Yeah, imagine that. I could wake up tomorrow and go, world problems solved.
Would you do it?
Yes.
Sick.
What would yours be?
That's it. No, that's it done, man.
Oh, right.
That's it done.
You're going to tell me yours off camera.
All done.